Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. We have a lot of things to cover because boy is there a lot going on, and it's kind of all over the board, but really the central theme to all of this is that we are watching, I think, kind of a closing in, a clamping down. I could be wrong on this, and if I am, and time shows us and proves us that this is all just a little hiccup, a little bump in the road, I will certainly be the first to admit it. But there's just so much coming out all at once in different areas, and some of this stuff is definitely connected, and it's just a lot, okay? Trust me, we'll get into it. I've got stacks of papers all over the desk here. When I do it this way, there's so much stuff and lots of notes, it is much easier to just do it in here because I got a little standing desk right in front of me, and that makes it a lot easier. Before I get started with that, I do want to make mention that we have our local meeting coming up August 21st. That's a Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. We open the doors at noon so that you can come early. You can, network, get to know each other. There's refreshments there. It is a very, very family-friendly event. It's like a family reunion or a church potluck afterglow kind of thing. A lot of people show up, and it's fun for the whole family. If you're able to come and you want to come, you can email me at this email popping up, and I'll give you the directions. If you've been before, it's at the same place. Just show up August 21st, and everything will be okay. I do want to show you something. I have designed, I did it, okay? I designed a t-shirt, and don't ask me to design t-shirts because I'm horrible at it, and you'll be able to see it's not that fancy. But folks, with all the stuff that's going on and that we're going to find out today, some more things going on, this shirt just is meaning more and more. And of course, this is in reference to the recent FBI, bulletin talking about symbols like this one and symbols like this one and symbols like this one and other ones that could make you, this kind of thing here. You could be a bad person if you display those. This is a prototype. If you're interested in purchasing them, they're not for sale yet. Give me a couple of days. We are working with some close friends of ours that have a t-shirt business. This is a mom and pop t-shirt business. And so we're working on doing that. We decided to go that route versus one of the big Teespring type businesses, and you don't know where your money's going to, what businesses they might be supporting. This is supporting a local, not local here, but a small family mom and pop type business. And so I will be letting you know in the next day or two, hopefully, they'll be ready. The smaller businesses, it takes a little longer to get things going, but quality, it's way better quality. Anyways, I hate to say it that this is the easy stuff or the light stuff, but let's go ahead and get to the light stuff. Over 70% of farmers are saying that forced fertilizer reductions would cause food shortages. Okay, the reason why this is coming out is, and this is focused on Canada, but Canada and America, as we all know, are so connected in a lot of ways that it would be the same thing here. The environment's similar, and what they're talking about is the reduction of fertilizer that Canada is saying that they're going to impose, a 30% reduction, which is all part of this Paris Accord agreements, the Great Reset, Agenda 2030. It's all the same thing. Each little organization had their own little pretty package that they wrapped up, but they're all the same package. And so what this is talking about is that reduction. And folks, they're right, because this is exactly what's happening all over the world where these countries are doing this, in the Netherlands, Sri Lanka, and other places. And America is doing the same thing, because that's what the whole Inflation Reduction Act is, to reduce the amount of carbon emissions and stuff by 42%, which part of that is the fertilizer. Okay, so that's included in that. Heat wave is plan on there be some shortages here. Let me get it out. My tongue's a little twisted. Broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, strawberries are all expected to have shortages come this winter through the fall and winter because of the heat waves. The crops don't look good in those areas. So that's just more on top of everything else, okay? You know, we saw the other day that chicken prices are going up 20% chicken prices. There's already shortages and other things. I had someone the other day email me or message me and said, have you been able to find any of that sriracha sauce? Which I don't particularly like it, but my wife does. And I said, no, she hasn't been able to find any in weeks now. Shortages all over the place. You know, Joe Biden told us yesterday that inflation was 0% last month. Man, I just can't talk today. And we all know that that's a lie. And they did it by basically saying, like, this is how it's been explained online. How they come up with that number is they took, like, the core consumer core numbers, and they went by the month, and they expected them to only go up by 0.2%, and they actually went up by 0.0%, which those core inflation numbers don't even include energy and food. And that's where they came up with that 0%, which it's a bunch of baloney. I mean, sometimes it's difficult to keep this channel G-rated and family-friendly, but I'm telling you, it's just absolute baloney. Well, they didn't tell you this. Inflation last month in groceries, okay, your grocery items increased by 13.1% in July. 13.1% is what your groceries went up. And there was another flour mill caught fire and burned to the ground over the last couple of days. Added to that's still going on. It doesn't appear to be going on in the amount of concentration, but it's still happening. I'm still seeing plants and food plants and stuff burning to the ground, and now maybe they don't have to do that because some of these plants are shutting down on their own. Here's one. This is an aluminum plant, aluminum mill, okay? This is the second largest aluminum mill in the United States, and it accounts for 20%, 1/5 of the supply of aluminum in the United States, and they're shutting it down because they can't afford to keep the doors open because the cost of electricity and the cost of everything is too high. So we're talking 20% of the supply of aluminum is being taken off the market in the United States. You do realize that aluminum is in just about everything. You know, everything from aluminum cans to your kitchen aluminum foil to electronics and computers and automobiles, industrial tools. It's everywhere. Aluminum is everywhere, right? And 20% of that supply is basically going to be gone, apparently, because this is the second largest mill in the country, and they are shutting down. That was kind of the light stuff. I know, you're probably thinking, man, if that's light, what's the real stuff? Well, we're going to get to that. First things first is this whole IRS thing. Yes, 87,000 new IRS agents are being hired. The IRS has purchased, something like $700,000 in ammunition over the past year. This is a real deal. This little thing here has been going around, and it's still real. They think they've hidden it. A lot of people thought they removed this online, but I checked a little while ago. It is still there on a job listing. It's just a little bit more hidden. And so what this is these list the major duties of these IRS agents that are being hired. And down at the bottom it says to carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force, even though Washington Examiner is reporting on that. IRS seeks armed accountants for deadly force. They're looking for an accountant with a gun. And you might ask yourself, why are they doing this? I think there's less than 800 billionaires in the United States. There's something like 20 million millionaires. My numbers may not be exactly correct, but I think we're in the ballpark. So don't beat me up over that. 87,000 new agents on top of the ones that they have already. We're looking at a total force of something like 150,000 employees. I mean, this is a small army that we're talking about, and they're going to be armed like an army, apparently, from what we're hearing. And they're telling them they need to be ready to use deadly force, to take your money, to steal your wealth from you, to steal your personal property from you. They need to be willing to take your life. Don't believe what they say when they say that, oh, this is only for the very rich, the upper 1% that's not paying their taxes. That's ridiculous. They're not going to be kicking the doors down of, you know, all these billionaires of George Soros and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and the Twitter, you know, half alien, half reptile guy. Or no, not the Twitter, the Facebook one. Whatever. They're not going to be kicking their doors down with automatic weapons and potentially shooting them. No, they're going to be doing this with the middle class and even on the lower levels. It absolutely is going to happen. This is all part of this great reset and this ESG and this, you know, Agenda 2030. They want to, you know, remember when we've said this many times and we've played the videos, you'll own nothing and be happy. How do you think you get to the point of owning nothing? Well, this is certainly one of the ways. This is a very dark, scary day. It's like they're building their own army, their own Stasi. I don't know. There's just, it just keeps going on. Let's get to the FBI stuff. Yes, the FBI right here. Today, just this afternoon, the Attorney General gave a little press conference, even though he didn't take any answers, and what he said really didn't have a whole lot of meaning, other than he did admit to being the one that personally approved of the search warrant for Donald Trump's home in Florida. Not much else was said, and I suspect it's going to be that way. Most of us have we don't know what's going on because no one is saying what's going on. They keep saying it has to do with some documents that were National Archive documents, even though Barack Obama took 30 million documents from the White House that the National Archives was wanting and kept, you know, pestering him about it. And he kept saying, oh, I'm going to turn these to digital format and then I'll hand them over. And he never did. And it's been years now and no one said anything. And of course, we all know what Hillary Clinton has done. But anyways, the FBI has delivered several subpoenas to Pennsylvania Republican lawmakers. So these are mostly state-level lawmakers, and basically they're making the claim that they were the ones that were trying to flip the vote in the election in Pennsylvania. And whether or not this is a totally legitimate or if this is some kind of paid actor, we don't know. But also today in Cincinnati, some guy came in and started shooting or was trying to shoot up the FBI building in Cincinnati. Breaking news here, this was at 10:30 this morning. Shots were fired. The last I heard, there was still a standoff, but it's possible that that's all been resolved as of the time that you watch this video. Is this just a coincidence? Is this just some angry, you know, Trump supporter going out there and doing something, you know, that's mentally not there and unstable and he can't keep it together? Or is this some type of false, you know, this thing, so that they can, you know, use the whole, what this shirt's about, use that against us? Is that what it is? I don't know. But there's definitely other stuff connected to that. Twitter today has announced that they will be enforcing the civic integrity policy when it comes to the upcoming elections. It means that they're going to take action against misleading claims about the voting process. And of course, it's all based on their rules. And so we're already seeing this increased lockdown. YouTube has done the same thing. Who knows if they'll let this video be shown, because I'm probably stepping over the line a few times. Now, so the point is, folks, is they're not getting any better. And it does appear, and it's not just me repeating and regurgitating what all the other political people, all the other YouTubers, all the other people on Twitter and everywhere else that you get information from. I'm not just regurgitating what they're saying. It does appear that things are heating up. Is this the time? Is this the moment that it heats up? Is this the go time where you pull the lever and you're ready to go? I don't know, and I can't say that, and it seems like it may still be a little premature to say that. Maybe it's because no one really wants to be the one to make that call and to say go, because there's always this worry if it's too early. And if you say go and you step forward and everyone else is just standing in line where they were, then you're singled out. I don't know. I can tell you this, folks. You need to be really getting seriously your house in order. Get things ready. It does appear that the battle on the political level against conservative traditionals versus Marxist liberals has definitely heated up, and it looks like that, one side's pretty much the aggressor. And I would certainly encourage you, in every possible way, to take this seriously and to get things ready. Get yourselves ready, because we don't know how much longer that we have that I can get on here and talk to you, and that we can do the things that we do in what we believe to be still a free country. Going along with this, I found this on Twitter. Actually, I didn't find this. I apologize. Someone sent this to me. I cannot verify, before I show it to you and talk, I want to be very clear. I cannot verify this information at all. None whatsoever. This is someone on Twitter posting it and claiming that it's true. But I will have to say, looking into this person's background, he does kind of shows like what I do. I don't think on Twitter he does a podcast. He seems to be pretty well respected, has like 300,000 followers. He's a former New York police officer. So he has connections, and that's what he's talking about, is the connections that he has from his past retiring as a New York City police officer. He says multiple federal law enforcement sources have contacted him and told him that a message has been blasted out to all federal law enforcement agencies to start cataloging social media posts of known conservative influencers so that they can be threat assessed. Now, while this may sound pretty serious, it's not too much different than what the news was saying this morning, that the FBI is monitoring the internet for conservative extremists. So the fact that they're monitoring local social media posts of known conservative influencers, I don't think that's too far of a stretch. I think it's quite clear that battle lines have been drawn, and I'm not talking physical battle lines. That may come someday. It may. I don't know. So I'm not talking about physical engagement. I'm talking about political battle lines, ideological battle lines. They've always been pretty clear in the past, but they've gotten a lot clearer in the last few days. And there are certain places, certain things like the FBI that we always kind of thought were not on our side, and now it's quite clear that they're not on our side. Again, like I said just a minute or two ago, it's time to get ready. It's time to get your houses in order. We don't know how much longer we have of getting ready. How much longer will we be able to actually really wear this? I mean, there's definitely some humor and sarcasm and joke going on here. But how much longer will it be to where you actually do, really do get locked up for just wearing something like this? Now it may get you on a list. Now they may kind of keep an eye on you. But when's the day happen that, when they see something like this, they throw you in a cage or a camp or something like that? It's possible. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying it's possible. And the things that are happening right now, when similar things like this have happened in human history in the past, they typically don't lead to a good place. This kind of stuff that we're talking about, we're not that many steps away from complete totalitarian rule. And it doesn't take but just a couple little missteps and someone doing something wrong to push things too far. And so, folks, seriously, get ready. Take things serious. Watch yourself. Operational security, you need to keep an eye on that. And also keep your powder dry. Folks, prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.